Hey, Dwayne, how's it going?
I'm good, Gavin. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. Just woke up from a really late night, so I'm very eager to get this day rolling. It's a Monday, so I'm always ready to just go all in.
Well, 10 a.m., buddy. Time to go all in.
Definitely. So I have a few questions here from the Facebook group.
Sure.
One of them is actually a mutual Facebook friend. His name is Adam. I'm not going to put his last name out there. But Adam, he just started a job at a car dealership, and he wanted some advice on prospecting. His exact question was, what is the best way to prospect for more customers?
Okay. I teach about 60 ways, and actually we just did a workshop in Saskatoon on that, about how to create your own traffic. And how a salesperson does not have to. It's one of the mistakes of the business, thinking they have to wait years and years to get repeats of referrals and all that to build pipeline. It's not true. I wanted to explain sort of the logic behind prospecting, because a lot of stuff that I see online and people talking about it and saying prospecting is dead, it's dead and all this stuff. Anyways, I'm not sure about any of that. Actually, I'm convinced it's not, and I can prove that at any point in time in a dealership. But if a dealership runs a radio spot, and here's a very good analogy about any kind of prospecting method. It picks a station. There's virtually an unlimited number of stations on AM, FM, or Sirius, or whatever you're using. Mm-hmm. So it picks a station, spends the money, sends it out, and obviously you can't run the ad all day long, so they have to pick the times. Now, logistics of that, the luck of that, the timing of that working, and I'm absolutely all for radio spots. I think it's a great way to advertise locally. But if we look at that, hey, we hope the consumers that like your brand are tuned into that station at that particular time. Mm. The odds of that low. Then not just the consumers that like your brand tuned into that station at that particular time, somebody that's actually listening to it, not talking to their friend, not in the other room, not distracted, not with it too low that they can't hear it, your odds go down again. And it's got to strike their ear or their brain at a time when they're actually considering shopping for a vehicle, and then you hope that has enough impact to actually create a lead. So if you funnel that down, the odds of it working are extremely low. But why it does work is because of the law of large numbers. It hits a lot of vehicles, a lot of people's radios at one spot, and you hope through law of large numbers that there's enough people in the statistics to make it work. So the thing with prospecting, and it takes more work for an individual to do than somebody running a radio spot. So quite frankly, the reason why we do mass advertising, could be TV, radio, newspaper, mailers, whatever, is because of the laziness of the people that are working for the company. It's certainly not because of effectiveness or statistics or bang for buck, because everything I just described works for every type of mass media. So what a salesperson has to understand, no matter what you're selling, is the shopping process. People get triggered to think about your product. There's a multitude of things that could trigger them, including a contact by a salesperson. That's why we reach out. Then they talk to people depending on what they're buying. The larger the ticket item, the less frequent that they buy it. They're going to talk to people because they're concerned. They're insecure of what they're doing. You hope that your name comes up in those conversations. So that's why salespeople need to create and maintain great relationships with all their clients, so that when people are talking about it, your name actually comes up and not somebody else's.
So a lot of it has to do with one of your videos that I saw recently was about doing the math and reaching out and making sure that you're able to get your name out there and what you do out there to as many people as possible, making that a main priority in your business every single day.
Exactly. And after they get triggered, however that happens, and we can be part of that sometimes, and when they talk to people and we hope to be brought up sometimes in those conversations, a lot of people do research. This is the whole point of social media. Social media is just one component of the shopping process where people, get drawn to you either while they're, browsing around on their Facebook page, or when they're doing research, they actually find you. So that's why we do social media. It's only one component. Then they may reach out by calling or emailing. That's where your skills come into play. And then if you have a retail environment they're going to visit, that's again where your skills come into play. But the worst thing a salesperson can be in any marketplace, it is having no awareness. You know, if nobody knows where you are, if nobody knows who you are, you can't sell a secret. So, Cam, then I'm going to ask you, we never had this conversation before. Tell me what brands you're thinking of. If I said hamburger, what company do you think of?
McDonald's.
Okay, I'll come back to that in 2 seconds, as most people say. Exactly. If I said soda pop or soft drink, give me a couple of brands you thought of.
Coca-Cola.
Okay, or?
The second one, maybe Pepsi, but I'm a huge root beer fan, so.
Okay. If I said I cut my hand, I need a?
Doctor.
Or, do you have something in the house that might help me out with the small
Band-Aid. Band-Aid.
I gotta blow my nose, give me a?
Tissue.
Okay. So most people say Kleenex. So
okay, I thought tissue wasn't the actual brand, but yeah, it's a Kleenex.
You know, exactly. So what happens there is those companies have mind share, and when you get mind share, it's the twin sister of wallet share or money share, because if you're not in people's minds, they can't spend money with you. Now, how they've done that is through repetition, years and years and years, consistent logos. Back to the McDonald's thing. Look, I worked there in high school for 3 years. It was great training. I learned lots of stuff there. But quite frankly, and I'm sure you've seen all the stuff that I've seen as far as the quality of that food goes. How would you feel if you owned Wendy's or, I don't know, pick any other place that you think's got a pretty good burger, and every month you get the sales reports, and McDonald's absolutely crushes you in hamburger sales, and they've got probably the worst hamburger on the planet. That would have to piss you off. They would have to piss you off if you own Wendy's. So you don't need necessarily the best product to have the biggest company. And, I mean, ironically, McDonald's primary mission statement isn't even to make hamburgers. Their mission statement, which is actually what I've taken heart, what I try to do or tend to do, is they fund real estate purchases through the sale of hamburgers. They're actually a real estate company, interestingly. Anyways, long story short, they have to be aware of you. There's lots of ways you can make them aware of you, and I don't have a favorite way to do it, except do it all the time. Do it all the time. Miss your meals, miss your kids' outings, go to bed late, get up early, but you need to invest in whatever prospecting tools you do consistently, because the more you do it, the more comfortable and more effective you get at it, and then you increase the law of large numbers working in your effect. Just like running a radio spot all the time on all the channels is going to be way better than running one radio spot on one channel one time.
Awesome. Okay, so the theme of this phone call is definitely going to, because this next question is going to kind of lean into that a little bit more, I guess, standing out in the marketplace. And I had asked this question on a podcast that you were featured on, you were doing your Facebook Live on. And I actually, the question, like the pace of the podcast was so fast, my question didn't get a chance to get answered. But I wanted to ask you specifically, because I've seen some of your videos. You're always in like a really good suit. And I kind of wanted to ask you, especially when you look around today and especially with the whole tech bubble, you see a lot of this these entrepreneurs and salespeople that are kind of, wearing hoodies and stuff like that. What do you think of that, and how important do you think presentation is, not just on your psychology, but the psychology of the customer? Okay, so a couple angles there. When you look at somebody, you can tell if they take care of themselves or not. If you don't take care of yourself, I wonder how you're going to take care of my business from your customer. So I actually put into that category self-care and health. Because if you don't take care of yourself, I don't know where it's going to go. There's a very famous speaker that dresses just like you said. And whenever I see him talk, the guy's got black circles under his eyes. He's not shaven. His hair looks awful. And he can talk all that he wants about what he does or doesn't do. And his two initials are G and B. And I see a guy that doesn't take care of himself. And honestly, he lost credibility, because you're trying to tell me how to run my life and run my business, and it looks like you're not eating, sleeping, you're not concerned about your own health. So I think hygiene and health go in the forefront of that, because people subconsciously pick up if you do take care of yourself. Outside of that, you can overdress or underdress for your business. So you have to know who you're speaking to, who your audience is. So, I talk about mirroring a lot. You've got to mirror what's appropriate for your brand and where you're selling and who you're selling it to. People in rural markets generally dress a lot more casual. They're, a farmer likes to look like they're broke.
but they're far from broke. Most farmers are multimillionaires. People in downtown big cities like to look like they're multimillionaires. Most of them are flat broke because of the cost of living.
That's very true.
So, yeah, it's just, you've got to dress appropriate to your market, and don't overdress or underdress for that. And the third most important thing is you got to feel good about yourself. If you don't feel good about yourself and what you're wearing, that's going to affect your self-confidence when you talk to people. So that's not really a placebo effect to me. It's how you feel about you. So in that order is how I teach it. Take care of yourself. People notice that first. Mirror your market. Don't overdress or underdress. And third part, feel good about whatever you're wearing. So you're still yourself, but again, it fits those other two rules.
Awesome. Okay, so obviously no crazy colored suits or something like that. And,
unless you're Don Cherry. And then it's your shtick. And it's a great example of a guy that's unemployable as a sports announcer if he took off his jacket.
That's true. I guess. Yeah. Making it
right.
Yeah. You're making it.
In that case, I mean, that kind of breaks all the rules because that's a bona fide shtick that he's worked himself into. So again, the people business is a funny business. There's rules and guides, but there's a lot of gray.
Yeah, true. There are some people who are able to break out of those rules and be that exception and do fairly well, but for the most part, that isn't for everyone. So
that's right.
All right. Well, Dwayne, thank you so much for joining me for this call, and I definitely look forward to doing it again. Do you have anything coming up you'd like to mention?
I'm on my way to a presentation right now. My next two big seminars are in Sacramento, California, and Shreveport, Louisiana. So if anybody's listening, if I can see you there, come out and say hello. Hopefully we will get a chance to chat with Pat and chat. Larry David says, Pat and chat.
All right. Well, for everyone who's listening, you'll be able to find a link to Dwayne's event calendar in the description of this video below. So just go to that, and that'll lead you to the contact page if you want to find out more about those events that are coming up. So, Dwayne, thank you so much for joining me on this call, and I look forward to chatting with you again.
How many sales a month do you or your sales team miss because of ineffective skills, stale habits, or bad attitudes? What if you had a secret way to make up just half of those lost sales per month every month? MarinoTV is your secret. It's the #1 online sales training program in the automotive industry, dedicated to building attitudes and skills that result in unstoppable results. Our virtual distance learning is designed specifically to help sales managers, sales professionals, F&I managers, and service advisors increase their production, as MarinoTV offers over 3,000 video sales training chapters for all levels of skill. Let MarinoTV show you step-by-step how to deal with today's educated and transaction-ready buyer in person, on the phone, over live video, or by email. If you're ready to have your sales soar and your stress drop, call 1-888-735-6275 or visit DwayneMarino.com, or buy our books, Unstoppable Attitude, Unstoppable Selling, and Unstoppable Money on Amazon now.